Coming up right now, talk about a dangerous job. One stuntman gets blown off course.
Also coming up, it's the Disney DEI disaster known as Snow White, why the Mouse House is keeping the premiere of their new movie low-key.
A little bit later on, an OnlyFans star makes an odd request at nursing homes after revealing her engagement numbers.
Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Jackson.
She sure is, and I'm Mitch English, and this is Daily Flash. And we got Sweet Baby James on the floor, working the floor today.
I'm excited, man.
You are? You look excited.
I saw one of the stories and I'm excited.
Tell me your video something right now. You're not like, this show is not getting in the way of your
No.
streaming.
Actually, I've been taking photos and videos,
okay.
So if you go to our social media, boom.
That's what he's doing, folks.
That's it.
And of course, we have the one and only Matt Doolittle.
Hello,
Matt,
how are you? And you know where
Hey.
you can see all the video, well, some of the videos that he posts. I don't want to see the other ones. You can check out our website, dailyflashshow.com. You can also send us some of your videos, flash@dailyflashshow.com. Just tag them if you want James to see them only. That's all we ask
there
for.
you
That's
go.
what you got to do.
Okay.
Only James.
I can do an OnlyFans page.
No, it's only James.
You would
Only
be the
James.
only fan of that page. Right?
Subject line, only James.
Only James.
Speaking of taking a break from social media,
Yes.
have you ever taken a social media detox?
Just for like if I was going somewhere, like my honeymoon, I did.
Yes.
I didn't, but nothing like where I said, you know what, I'm going to get off for a while. I've never done anything.
No? Okay. Matt, you?
It's just tough because something comes up and you're like, oh, I got to get on
Especially
there and
for
check
this
it
job.
out.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I mean, we did a trip last week, and I really wasn't engaged in it. But then you're like, oh, now you're scrolling for 2 hours to catch up.
This is true. So they say the average person spends between 3 and 5 hours a day on their phone.
Wow,
Crazy.
Yeah.
3 to 5 hours a day on your phone.
You ever get that screen thing on
Yes.
Sunday mornings? And you're like, oh, I don't want to look at
Yeah,
this.
I know.
I don't want to
Right?
see.
It's like the screen time health check. Really? Okay. And not to mention the amount of hours you're probably spending binge watching something on television too. So it's a lot of screen time. Experts are saying you don't have to do a complete detox from social media, but you can make some adjustments to where your mental health might improve a little bit if you follow some of their guidelines. They're saying that you might want to just try and find some positives. So if you're on social media, instead of just the doom scrolling, try and just connect with someone. Send somebody a message or say hello. And a lot of people say they like social media because it allows them that connection. That's a positive. You meet up with old friends, or you can stay in touch with family, or you can kind of keep up to date with people. But the bad side of social media, as we've all seen, is it can create anxiety and depression and feeling of lack and loneliness. So they're saying, don't focus on those. Focus on the positives. Look for things that inspire you, whether it's quotes or animals or whatever. That's the way to go.
Mine's full of cat videos.
Cat videos. There you go. Yeah.
And imagine tagging people on videos is not good because you're basically just, you're passing the joint. That's really what you're doing. Because if you tag somebody, then you're trying to get them to go on and look at the same thing.
Yes.
Sorry, I went like that, Matt, and there's nothing there.
Sorry. Natural reaction.
Now, they say there's no concrete proof that social media causes anxiety and depression. However,
I say there is.
Yes, they do say more time scrolling gives you a higher chance of suffering from depression and anxiety.
And that FOMO thing that you feel like you're not getting everything out of life. You're always seeing that sort of stuff. And you could see kids' behavior just change completely when they are constantly on, not on social media, but video games and that sort of thing. They have to get out and do stuff.
But do you ever find yourself get completely sucked in? That happens to me sometimes. And I just, at the doom scrolling thing, you start scrolling and then all of a sudden, like, you might have been watching a television show for an hour and I couldn't have told you what happened.
I've done that.
Completely.
Then you end up sharing it with your friends. Like if you see our text chain between me, James, and Mitch, it's a whole nightmare.
It's a whole show in and of itself.
It's not fun at all. I can tell you though, I always put like limits in my mind. I go, all right, I'm going to watch this video. It's the last one. Oh, stupid. I'm going to go next one. And then I wind up staying another 15, 20 minutes on it just because I think having the time. And say, oh, I'm going to spend X amount of time on there and get it off.
That's a good point. Yes, I like that time constraint.
That way you're not, taking yourself. You are on it, but you're not devoting your life
Right.
to it. All right. Let's jump into some trending news stories. A human cannonball has been seriously hurt after an accident at a fair in California.
Ooh.
Chachi the Rocket Man was making an appearance at the festival. No word if Joni was there. But a strong gust of wind changed the course of his performance. Chachi broke his ribs, his wrist, and suffered from a lacerated liver. Sixth-generation circus performer said that everything went black when he was thrown from the safety net. He claims he checked out of the hospital early because of lack of medical insurance. Not a good idea. Valencia has 23 years of human cannonball experience, so you would think this would work. But here's the thing. If you have 23 years, you're waiting for that to happen,
Yes.
right?
Exactly.
Yes.
How do you go into that business and not have medical insurance? It makes no sense. I'm
point.
sorry.
That is
It's just
true.
the first thing
And
you
you know
need
what?
to
Evil
have.
Knievel called that a Tuesday.
Yes.
You know?
You're 100% right.
Hey, Chachi!
On the flip side of that, what insurance company is going to insure you?
And
for a human
sir, what do you
cannonball?
Doom and gloom.
I'm sorry, sir. And you do what? Oh, I shoot myself out of a cannon once a week.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh
Your
my gosh.
deductible is $1 million.
It's bad enough at job interviews. It's like, I'm going to tell you, what's some of your skills? Well, I can be shot out of a cannon. Well, that'll be helping great when you work in drive-through. But a family, that's the thing. It's like when I went skydiving, the guys were bragging about how many jumps they did, and I went with the guy for had 2,000 jumps. I go,
geez.
I feel safer with the guy that's only had like 100.
Thank you.
Because it's going to happen.
Exactly.
Something wrong's going to happen.
Eventually.
sooner or
Numbers
later.
are there.
It's like, who's our friend Savannah that works with the Gators? They're like, well, eventually you're going to get bit.
You're going to get bit no matter what. So, yes.
It is true. A British OnlyFans star named Lily Phillips is changing her focus to elderly men in nursing homes. She's so giving. You might remember Phillips making headlines for sleeping with more than 100 male fans in a single day. Well, now she says she wants to satisfy the needs of elderly men as a way to offer a charitable contribution to society. I'll let you make those comments yourself at home. Phillips says she's stopped by a nursing home in the U.S. to meet her oldest fan. She says his name is Steve. He's 82. They met on Facebook. Some question whether Phillips is exploiting these older fans for attention and their money.
What?
Or if she's really doing it as a way to give back.
Oh,
Lily.
bless her.
Horny toads jumping lily to lily. How about that? No, I think it is a little bit. It's one or the other. Well, look at the dude on the side.
Yeah, he's like, let me get in here.
Does she just have like a Pest dispenser with like blue pills on it ready to
That-
go? Like,
you would have
here you
to.
Go, here you go. Here you go.
I kind of commend her for going to the nursing home.
Yes.
And imagine nothing, bad happened, whatever. But then you're like, well, these guys, they're bored too. They get online, and I guess
Yeah.
they have more time than I
She
do.
met the one guy on Facebook. I guess this guy right here.
So as long as they don't give her money, or start supporting her, we don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
I think it's nice that she's doing. Doesn't matter what she does, she's seeing these people. In
Did
these
you ever
nursing
watch
homes.
Landman? Have you watched
Yes,
Landman?
I have with
'Cause
Billy Bob Thornton.
Because there's that scene where the mom and daughter go to the nursing home
That's
and
right.
get them out of the.
Yes.
That reminds me of that scene. Well, all right, Disney has a Snow White problem on their hands, and it looks like it's getting worse by the day. Rachel Ziegler found herself in the headlines ahead of the movie's premiere for sharing her woke ideology and hating on Walt's original 1937 version. The studio decided to keep the premiere low-key as a way to distance themselves from another likely box office DEI disaster. And while the song Someday My Prince Will Come has long stood as a Disney classic, Ziegler said she refused to allow her character to sing it and be saved by a prince. Snow White is going to be in theaters right now.
All right, so and this is Disney let her get out of control. Since when has it allowed her to make the choices? I mean, somebody had to make that decision above her. Just because she didn't want to do it, then somebody could have made the decision. Well, you're going to do it. You're going to sing this one song, and it came out. Obviously, her message behind all of that, and she did. She needed 8 small little people to keep her alive. That's how the story goes. Am I right? 7. I'm sorry. 7.
The 8th one was, at the nursing home.
Yeah. Well, I think she came out ahead of all of this as a social justice warrior and made these demands after she got hired. And then how does the studio walk all of this stuff back?
That's a good
Much
point.
like the little people who were scheduled, the real life little people who were supposed to be in the movie ended up losing the jobs because Peter Dinklage came forward and said, you shouldn't cast them because that's stereotypical. So then those folks lost their jobs, and then they just turned them into animated CGs.
And they look really weird,
Yeah.
which I think is obviously the point.
Honestly, the studios need to It should be in their contract because Cynthia Erivo had the same problem at the beginning when they were doing Wicked tours about, some of the poster changes and everything like that.
Yeah.
And now this one's getting, way too overstepping what the material is. And when you get into a project like that, you should understand that you're taking on a lot of responsibility. There's going to be a lot on your shoulders. And if you overstep, you're going to destroy your career and you're costing them a lot of money.
Allowing it because you're a company that says that you want people to be represented and that sort of thing, and allow them to have that voice as well. Look, that's the other side of it, is that when you're hiring these people.
Right. Do you really want to re-envision classics?
See the thing about that.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Our next guest is Dr. Michael Aziz, and he has a new book out called The Ageless Revolution. Dr. Aziz is a functional medicine physician, and in the book, he shares secrets to a longer, healthier life. He joins us now with some advice on how to slow or even reverse the aging process. Hi, Dr. Aziz. Welcome to Daily Flash.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
So you say that aging is preventable. Please explain.
Well, this Revolution, my new book, is the first book on the market that targets aging as a disease. It's a disease that robs us of our youth and health, and eventually it leads to death. And there are hallmarks of aging, the reasons why our cells deteriorate, why they get damaged, why we get old, and why we eventually die. And in this book, I target all the hallmarks of aging with a variety of weapons. I don't think it's preventable, but you could slow it down or you can even reverse it.
Yeah, what are some of the most powerful anti-aging foods and habits? Because I think when people think about what they're putting into their body, it's like putting really good gas into a car. You wouldn't want to put cheap gas into a Ferrari. You should treat your body the same way. So what do you recommend?
Well, I looked at the blue zones. That's the 5 areas in the world where there are many centenarians, and the other areas in the world where people live to make it to 90. And what are those people eating? And I developed a diet called the Ageless Diet. I discuss it in the book. And I look at the superfoods. What are those people eating? We find berries are very, very good. We find sweet purple potatoes that they eat in Okinawa, Japan. And that's like super powerful. It's much more powerful than berries. Butter is a very good fat. It's good for longevity. We found the French women are living longer than American women by 5, 6 years, and so on. There's so many foods that we can eat that we can incorporate and have much better life, a healthier life, health span, and a longer lifespan.
I know that there's like you had mentioned, the French women. It's like French women don't get fat because they eat real food all the time. What are some of the benefits of fasting, particularly intermittent fasting?
So there are one of the hallmark of aging, we have the accumulation of old cells in our bodies. We have young cells and old cells. And the old cells do not die, and they disrupt the young cells. And the benefits of caloric restriction, like skipping breakfast or skipping dinner or eating just 2 times a day, that you get rid of those old cells, the senescent cells that are disrupting the young cells from working. It also activates a gene called the FOXO gene, which plays a very big role in longevity. So yeah, I mean, we were told to eat every 3 hours. That was just a wrong approach that was developed by bodybuilders who are eating 5,000 calories a day. But caloric restriction, if you don't overdo it, I'm not talking about starving for 2, 3 days. I'm talking about just like skipping a meal once in a while. It's very good for longevity.
What about sort of ending your day at a specific time and making that like, don't eat after 5 o'clock and then you're waking up and eating breakfast the next morning? Is that a good approach to something like this?
Well, any caloric restriction is good, but some research coming from Spain show that people who eat mostly breakfast and like an early dinner or like late lunch at 5 o'clock have more weight loss because
Oh.
really at night we produce human growth hormone, and human growth hormone is related to longevity by building muscle, making our bones strong. So it's not a good idea to eat right before bedtime. You always want to do at least 2, 3 hour window before you go to bed. That should be your last meal.
Okay, that's great advice. All right, you must be familiar with all these weight loss medications. With so many longevity and weight loss medications on the market right now, what should we be aware of?
I think people have to start with the right diet. They have to eat the right superfoods. They have to do as much as they can for our longevity journey. And then I think the weight loss drugs, the newer one, all the GLP drugs, they should be really a last resort. because, if you get off and you go back to eating pizza and donuts, you're going to gain the weight back. And much of the weight sometimes that is lost with the GLP drugs is loss of muscle mass. And you want to preserve your muscle as we get older, because we're losing muscle at the rate of like 1 to 2% every 3-4 years. So you want to keep your muscle, because also having a good muscle mass as we get older is very good for longevity.
Very true. The book is called The Ageless Revolution. Dr. Aziz, thank you so much for joining us. For more information, please visit michaelazizmd.com. Mitch, we'll send it to you.
Thank you, Andrea. And then there's this. It looks like, speaking of healthy foods, Waffle House. They've had a big announcements that came out. It actually had said that they're going to start charging an extra 50 cents for every single egg that they sell. Wow. The surcharge has actually been applied to all the menus from Waffle House at nearly 2,000 locations. Now, they chose to use surcharge rather than boosting their prices across the menu, because they did say it is going to be temporary. The extra fee will be removed once the price of eggs comes back down, or maybe if it raises up, if the climb of the cost of eggs goes a little bit higher as well. Well, the Waffle House suits, and wouldn't you love to be one, they said that they are continuously monitoring egg prices and will adjust or even remove the surcharge as market conditions allow. Of course, no one actually knows when that's going to be. There's also several factors contributing to the volatile egg prices, mainly a bird flu outbreak in the U.S. back in 2022. It's affected more than 135 million birds, so you can see the egg prices are obviously going up. Waffle House passes that along with you.
Yeah, and there seems to be some discrepancy with regard to the previous administration forcing a lot of these farms to destroy their birds, and whether they needed to or not. Again, that's been a conversation ongoing. So it's not like these egg prices suddenly just ballooned within the last month. This has been going on for the last year and a half, maybe. Now it's finally getting some headlines.
And we're seeing this. And it's not, I guess, we wouldn't want to call it a shortage, but we are saying, hey, look, there's less than there was actually around.
Yeah.
I heard that Trader Joe's is now actually selling fertilized eggs. Have you heard about this?
No.
Where you can take it home and make your own chicken, basically. It's all you gotta do is keep it around 100 degrees. So everybody's jumping aboard on the fear that there won't be any eggs in the future.
I know there's been limits of buying eggs at Costco, so if you go there, you're limited as well.
Keep that in mind. Welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. It's Thursday. That means it's time for us to check in with Tony Toscano to find out what's coming out of Hollywood and straight to your screen, no matter what size you're going to watch it on. With the latest, here's Tony.
Thanks, Mitch. Streaming on Oxygen is the documentary crime series New York Homicide.
New York City, it's a city that doesn't sleep. It is going 24 hours a day.
The person who did this murder was very familiar with the Opera House.
He fired the gun in Park Slope. We were outraged.
You want to give that family justice. You got to solve this case.
Nobody wanted to believe that it was one of their own.
We didn't know what to think.
Some horrendous crime happened.
Go find the guy who did this.
It was so brutal, I can't even tell what nationality the victim was.
You couldn't write that in a show. No one would believe it.
The series details brazen crimes that could only happen in New York, and the intense work by law enforcement and civilians who race to take murderers off the streets. I talked to series consultant, retired detective Robert K. Boyce.
You know, since television began, I mean, there have been detective shows on, police shows. Why do people gravitate to true crime? And why do people love police shows so much?
So true crime, I will tell you, we have to stick to the truth, to the information we have. We can't vary. We can't make things up. You know, we can't. You'll see these shows, the scripted shows, will say, well, based on a true story. Well, it's based on it. Doesn't mean you stuck to it. You know, we have to stand to it. We think the cases is so compelling. By the truth itself defies logic sometimes. We don't understand why people do things, why people murder people when they didn't have to, time and time again. So that's what's important to understand, is that true crime is probably more compelling. And I think when people see the victims of crimes, the families, it touches your heart. And that's what brings the viewer back time and time again.
New York Homicide is more than just a true crime series. It really delves into the lives and emotional involvement these detectives experience as they investigate murder from all angles. Again, you can catch New York Homicide streaming on Oxygen. It gets an A and is not rated. Streaming on Nickelodeon and Paramount Plus is the superhero crime series Thunderman's Undercover.
Nice try, Thunder Baby. Look, if we're gonna be watching you, we gotta set some ground rules, starting with a curfew.
Oh, nah. She can follow the Max code. If the party's great, come home late.
No, she'll follow the Phoebe code. Everything will be fine if you come home by 9.
This spin-off series revolves around Phoebe, Max, and Chloe, who are tasked with investigating new threats in the town of Secret Shores, all the while teaching young Chloe how to use her superhero abilities. I talked to Kira Kasarian, who plays Phoebe.
I hope that people take away a sense of comfort and that they, when the show is on the TV, they feel a little less alone. They, get to feel like a kid again, maybe, that they get to feel joyful and youthful and, just enjoy a fun Nickelodeon show. At the end of the day, we just want to make people smile.
Thunderman's Undercover is a lighthearted series aimed at kids, and although it could have been a bit deeper in focusing on problems facing children, the series uses a sunny day and happy ending approach. Not that that's a bad thing, but it is an easy thing. Again, Thunderman's Undercover is streaming on Nickelodeon and Paramount Plus. It gets a C and is rated TV PG. For the Daily Flash, I'm film critic Tony Toscano.
Welcome to your Daily Digits this week, kid. Well, your first digit this week is 50, as in 50%. So a Vermont man plans to sell the infamous black book that might have belonged to Jeffrey Epstein. Some of y'all getting nervous out there. He bought it for just $425 from eBay back in 2020 and claims it's filled with hundreds of names, phone numbers, and some shady connections. This book could fetch $50,000 when it hits the auction block for a second time. It failed to sell for $100,000 at auction last June, so hey, consider it a 50% off to ruin some people's lives. Anyone want my black book? Actually, it's just a note that says nope on it, so I don't think I can get much money for that. I didn't collect numbers back in the day, and I'm off the market anyway, thank God. All right, your next number this week is $4,250. A flamin' hot Cheeto shaped like Pokemon's Charizard, dubbed the Cheetozard, is making waves at Golden's 2025 auction. Opening bids started at just $250. It's now surpassed $4,000 with just 1 week before the auction closes. It comes in a fancy display case with a node to Pokemon collectors and a Virgin card to boot. Just make sure you get that frame too. Your next number today is $176 million. A company called KBR has been awarded a $176 million contract for 7 years to maintain and update a military site located in Maui, Hawaii. Now, it's perched 10,000 feet above sea level and has been used since the days of the Cold War. It now tracks satellites, space debris, and other potential threats from the sky. But let's be honest, they just bid on it so they could get a nice Hawaiian vacation and get paid for it, right? Like Adam Sandler does, right, Mitch?
100%. I want that job. Thank you, Matt. We got more Flash after this.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
Love having you aboard here. Yes. It is getting close to tax time, as we all know, and those refunds. With this day and age of computers, what's the best way to get your refund?
E-file.
E-file. We head now up to Washington, D.C. A postal worker, a former postal worker, busted for stealing tax refunds. How much did he steal?
No.
$1.6 million on his. And it was all on his mail route. Okay, so he's taking the checks.
So he's stealing from customers.
People that he's supposed to be delivering their mail to.
My God.
He used it for his lavish lifestyle, luxury trips to Bali, and of course he went to the Gentleman's Club as well.
Of course.
He is now facing significant prison time, which
Making it rain.
So we tell you that because it's so easy now to just have it, just the e-file and to have it downloaded. into your
your
account.
bank account.
And they set it up. They've made it easier and easier. But still, people want the mail to have it there. They want a physical check. I would imagine it in this day and age, it's probably easier to get a new check if it was sent to you, I guess, because then you have people who sign it. But, still keep your eye on it. And that's why they give you codes as far as when you get the direct deposit for your tax refund.
Yikes.
Can you imagine that, though?
I mean, that's your mail carrier. That's the person that you
trust.
You trust. So you have to wonder, what happened to voter ballots? What about other checks, cards?
At least it was circulating it back into the community, even though they don't pay taxes.
But
on
yet,
what they're getting.
if I get one more Wayfair postcard telling me to,
in your neighborhood,
in my neighborhood, I get that in a bank. A bank will not leave us alone. We're happy. We have banks already. We don't need to deal with it.
But I like how he took exotic trips. So he spent U.S. taxpayer dollars that weren't his overseas. That's great.
There you go.
So he's
and D's and triple E's when he went to the strip club.
There you go. He made those bonds fall. No, he made those bonds fall.
He made them fall big time. Big time.
All right, a human cannonball has been seriously hurt after an accident at a fair in California. Chachi the Rocket Man was making an appearance at a festival when a strong gust of wind changed the course of his performance. He says he broke ribs, his wrist, suffered from a lacerated liver. The sixth-generation circus performer said everything went black when he was thrown from that safety net. He claims he checked out of the hospital early because of a lack of medical insurance. Valencia has 23 years of human cannon experience.
We're laughing because he's in a job and lack of medical insurance. God bless him. There was a video game back when video games first started off where you shot a guy from a cannon. Do you remember that game?
Yeah,
it was like you played it on your computer and you had to angle it up right and everything. I wasn't that good at it.
I had one called Kaboom where you had a prisoner guy dropping bombs off the wall, and then there was one called Freeway where you try to get a chicken across the I-5 freeway in California.
That's Frogger. It turned out to be Frogger.
None of which had insurance.
None of them did.
Both were high-risk jobs.
A British OnlyFans star. Her name is Lily Phillips. She's changing her focus now to elderly men in nursing homes. Now, you might remember Phillips actually making headlines for sleeping with 100 dudes.
In a
day. She now says that she wants to feel that she can satisfy the needs of elderly men as a way to offer charitable contributions to society. Phillips says that she stopped by a nursing home in the United States to meet her oldest fan. She says his name is Steve. He's 82 years old. They met on Facebook. Some question whether Phillips is actually exploiting these older fans for attention. They don't care, I want you to know.
No, they don't.
It doesn't look like it.
Exploit me, I got 2 years left.
Right?
And they're going to live through it anyway.
One last go around before
exploit me all you want.
Is it a way of her giving back as well? I guess giving back something. But hey, God bless her if that's what she's doing. If the guy's invited her, if she just showed up, that's one thing. But it sounds like the guy invited her.
But to me, it sounds like she's doing
He's a walker.
I mean, come on.
Is that what it is? Or?
Probably the most action this guy's seen in like a decade. Yes, all right. Well, now I understand that she's doing a nationwide nursing home tour.
All the applesauce you can count and want. No, that's what she is. She said she's going to go around and if they don't leave her any money, if it's just a visit, okay.
Lifting spirits everywhere.
Yeah. Tell you what, we'll visit back right after this short break with today's trends and tomorrow's talk. Hey, it's time for a little air, land, and sea. It is time for Flash Travel. Norwegian Cruise Line is sailing you into a mind-blowing tribute to the Purple One himself, packed with his legendary hits, electrifying performances, and that signature print magic, and it's all on the all-new Norwegian Aqua this year. Well, before the revolution begins, I had to get a sneak peek of the entertainment that's going to be on board. Norwegian Cruise Line promises more to experience when you're on vacation, and that includes more entertainment. How about a whole revolution more? We went behind the scenes at their exclusive creative studios in Tampa, Florida to find out more. Well, it's definitely the perfect time to get out on the sea, and Norwegian Cruise Line wants to make sure you get more, including great music like Revolution, a celebration of Prince. That's one of the productions, as well as Elements, the world expanded. It's really cool. Plus, you get all the great stuff you get on a Norwegian Cruise Line ship. It's so much fun, and we're going to take you behind the scenes. Check this out, right?
We're not ready yet. What are you guys doing in here already?
Oh, Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go to other places. Check out behind the scenes.
Our first stop is the massive costume warehouse for all the shows that are in production. And when in Rome, you try on the clothes, right?
Very thinning. I like this.
And do they have costumes? Ask Nick Bersoni, Senior Manager of Theatrical Costumes.
Yeah, so we get about 2,500 costumes per month that go through this space. Everything gets put on the actors' bodies, and then we do fittings, alterations, and then it goes over to the next department that works on the costumes.
And where will all of these wind up?
We have 2 sets of costumes. One set lives in Tampa, one set lives on board, and they go with the cast. And then once the cast contract is over, we switch them out.
What kind of feat is it to actually do a whole production? We'll just talk about one production. You guys have several in production right now.
We are trying to push our limits. We do more costumes, more rhinestones, more sequins, more style, and more elevated costume.
Which comes out to be more fun and more of an experience while they're on board, right?
Absolutely.
Every production at sea has to be a Broadway-worthy production. That means this massive rehearsal space houses everything, including incredible sets. You'll hear some incredible music rehearsals. And of course, you're going to see some amazing performers from all over the world honing their craft. And to make sure that when the curtain rises, the audience will stand up and go crazy. And with the music by Prince, it's a party, it's an experience, it's a
revolution. It's a first in the world and definitely a first at sea. We are so thrilled to be working with the Prince Estate and with Universal Music to be able to bring this celebration, this tribute of Prince's music. It's really an incredible honor, and it speaks to the quality of what we do at NCO.
Sure, yeah.
The fact that they would trust us to be able to do this 45-minute production that truly is going to be an experience like our guests have never seen before. This is going to have a premium VIP concert experience. There's going to be a traditional theatrical experience. There's going to be these great Instagrammable pre-show moments.
Oh, cool.
There's going to be a nightclub experience that extends afterwards. So we're really celebrating Prince. We're celebrating that music in all the ways we possibly can.
To make sure the Revolution is up to the Purple One standards, NCL went with the best. Award-winning Broadway choreographer, Patricia Wilcox.
Well, everything has delighted me about the ship because it's what you have to make adjustments for is just where the ground is. You have to make adjustments for how you land when you come out of a jump, just technically speaking. My first idea was that people would zip line in, and so everybody was like, zip line from the back of the house. We may not want to zip line over the audience.
Now is the perfect time because now is the time of more. We really have spent so much time listening to what our guests have told us. So we're taking all that feedback. We're really accelerating this year, and we really think it's an exciting time for entertainment news.
More to see, more to do, more to enjoy. We love traveling the world with you. Why not join us by commenting on our Facebook page? Just look for the Flash Travel TV on Facebook and leave your comment. An even faster way, just go to flashtraveltv.com and it's going to take you directly there.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Online dating can spark romance, but it can also lead to a broken heart. Joining us today is Denise Leonard. She's the general manager of Zelle. Hi, Denise.
As Americans spend more and more time online, whether it be dating apps, social media platforms, or even online marketplaces, scammers are following us there. For example, with a romance scam, somebody may reach out on a dating app, and then you may start corresponding over text messages and emails. As you're building this relationship, then all of a sudden somebody will ask you for money. If you haven't met that person in real life and they're asking you for money, it's not true love. It's definitely a scam. Zelle processes over $1 trillion annually in terms of payment volume. $1 trillion. That's a lot of zeros, but it's also a testament to 151 million American consumers and small businesses trusting and using Zelle every day. And because of that volume, we process millions of transactions every second. And we have models and technology in the background to be able to spot bad actors. To find out more, go to zellepay.com.
Well, despite the advancements in hearing technology, hearing in noisy environments actually remains a challenge and a major challenge from those suffering from hearing loss. Here's more.
Thanks for having me. And I want to talk to you today about some new data that we've found from YouGov. And what it shows is that 80% of the respondents who were in need of hearing enhancement responded that the #1 issue that they had is hearing in noise. And we're launching a new device today called Pure Charge and Go BCT-iX that can really help you connect back to the conversation. It can help you connect to the conversation on all your devices seamlessly with universal Bluetooth Classic connectivity. So you can connect to your phone, connect to the conversation on the go, you can stream music, and it's all available in a super discreet design. In fact, it's the smallest Bluetooth Classic compatible hearing aid available today. And it has the longest battery runtime of any Bluetooth Classic compatible hearing aid ever. And crucially, what it means is that you can connect to the full power of the iX platform, which can really help you in these noisy environments. It has unique technologies such as real-time conversation enhancement. So in these busy group conversations, at family gatherings, at the church, at restaurants, it can track and enhance multiple conversation partners in real time. So you can connect back to the conversation and contribute with Pure Charge and Go BCT-iX. And if you want to learn more, you can go to signia.net. There you can learn all about our hearing enhancement devices that we have on there that can really help you contribute to the conversation. And at signia.net, you can also start your hearing journey. You can find a local hearing care professional that can give you a hearing test. If you feel like you need that enhancement, go to signia.net and you can find a local hearing care professional to do that hearing test and get the enhancement that you need and start to contribute and connect back to the conversation.
If you are a business owner, optimizing your finances is the key to success. And with new digital tools, managing money is getting easier than ever. Here's what you need to know.
Have you ever felt like you spend more time running your business than growing it? As a former small business owner myself, I know that to take your business to the next level, you need to embrace a digital mindset, take steps to mitigate risks, and leverage data and insights to truly understand how your business is performing. Your cash flow is the lifeblood of your business, but managing and optimizing it all in one place across your business is not easy. Bill gives you more control over your finances, better efficiency, and helps ensure your payments are safe and secure. Bill also gives you access to real-time data tailored to your small business. Now you can get the insights you need to make better decisions and make them faster. Bill helps you manage, optimize, and automate your finances all in one place so you can focus on what you do best, which is serving your customers and growing your business. For more information on how to streamline your finances, visit Bill.com.
Right now is the perfect time for everyone in the family to learn how to save a life with CPR. Check this out.
More than 23,000 children experience cardiac arrest outside of a hospital each year, accounting for 10 to 15% of unexpected infant deaths.
Immediate CPR can double or even triple a child's chance of survival. This Heart Month, the American Heart Association is urging all parents and caregivers to join the Nation of Lifesavers and learn CPR. These simple steps can save lives.
Watch a CPR video or find the class at heart.org/nation.
Looking for a brand new car under $30,000? Well, Nissan has 6 options that fit the bill, including a small SUV that stands out from the crowd. Take a look.
Can you really get a nicely equipped new car for less than $30,000? You can. In fact, Nissan has 6 models that start under $30,000, like this Nissan Kicks. The Kicks is a small SUV, and this type of vehicle is so popular that there are currently more than 20 different choices. While the base model is about $23,000, even if you upgrade to the top-tier SR version of the Kicks, the price is still just a hair below $30,000. Features like a heated steering wheel, 19-inch wheels, and unique LED lighting up front are all included in the SR. Of course, there are other small SUVs like the Toyota Corolla Cross and the Honda HR-V. But we like the stylish and affordable Nissan Kicks because it feels like a notch or two above basic.
Hey, Mitchie.
Hey,
Jackson.
Yeah, I want to talk about that big story coming out of Hollywood.
Well, hold on, wait. I want to get Matt in on this call, all right? Hold on.
Hey, what's up, Mitch and Dias?
Matty!
Mitchy.
Mateus.
Mitch, my man.
So, Matty of Birkenshire.
What's going on?
Hey, AJ wants us to talk about a big story that's happening.
This kid, the Kiki, says hi. He has his own Instagram.
That's great, Matt, but I really want to talk about this big story coming out of Hollywood.
Ooh, dog and cat, it's
Hey, you should check it out. This kid, the Kiki.
I want to know what's going on.
What?
Oh, okay, so real quick. Why does he still have a dial-up modem?
Hey, I gotta get back to wrestling stuff.
It's on the music.
You know what? Maybe we should just try this later.
Okay, all right. Peace and love.
Daily Flash.
Where are you?
It's just better when you're part of the conversation. Join us online.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I am Mitch English, along with Andrea Jackson. Lash Ferry, he is the Hollywood gift guru. Man, is he. He's also the founder of Distinctive Assets. It's a Hollywood swag bag company. Lash joins us now with a peek inside of this year's Oscar night gift bag. Welcome back to the show, Lash. What do you have for us this year? Because this is incredible. First off, these gift bags are going to the top Oscar nominees. But how are the companies, that are involved in all this? This is really cool. You get to do this.
I love what I do, and we do this independently of the Academy, which means I get to decide who gets it, and it's only for the top acting and directing nominees, and what's in it. And we always have a mix of things that I personally love, like skincare. This is the 5th year we've had Miage skincare, luxury skincare line. I'm obsessed with sharing it with all my friends, whether they're Oscar nominated or not. I'm of the age where I'm doing a lot of home projects. So we've got Greenworks, and they've got any tool you need for home and yard work. This is their 2-in-1 work light. We've also got a standing light. We've, of course, got amazing vacations for them. This box here, this beautiful purple box, contains a $23,000 getaway for them to the Maldives from Joe Ali. And then giving back, obviously, is important right now with all that's been going on in LA. So we've teamed up with Bright Harbor. This is the disaster recovery service that helps survivors navigate insurance, government assistance, vetting vendors for remediation, and the nominees are getting a free year, which is great. But what's really great, they're getting 10 one-year subscriptions worth over $3,500 each that they can freely share with friends, family, neighbors, even fans.
That is so cool that you have these sort of things. If folks want to kind of find out more, like what goes inside these bags here, where can they go? They have a website?
They can go over to my Instagram is the easiest place at Swag Assets, and links to all of the products that we didn't get to. There's 61 this year. They can find out about all of them and live like a star in their own lives.
I love it. Lash, we love having you on. Looking forward for your next time, and thank you for joining us. We'll make sure that we post this video on our website at dailyflashshow.com. Thanks for joining us today. We got a whole show set up for you for tomorrow, so if you stick around, you'll be able to check that out if you tune in at least for tomorrow. Y'all take care, and again, always, you can check out our website. Go to dailyflashshow.com. There you can watch full episodes of the show, and any link that we talk about, including like what we just showed you with Lash, you'll be able to check it out there as well. dailyflashshow.com. We love hearing from you. Click on the sound off button so you can get an email to us. Y'all be good or good at it. Take care, and we will see you when we look at you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Mm-hmm.